Okay, you know what I have to say? I'm actually very pleasantly surprised at what I watched over the last couple of days. I'll get to that momentarily, but first let's do my low, my high, my active kindness. My low, it was very cold out yesterday. Seriously, like at least at three separate occasions, there were whiteouts. For those of you who don't know what whiteout is, like there's so much like snow squall and wind and snow, like everything looks completely white. So basically imagine fog, but more dangerous. Actually, in some cases, there's a movie called The Fog. That fog was very dangerous. But I'm getting sidetracked. So that wasn't fun. Sorry, I'm tickling my throat. Oh, there we go. My high was the fact. Oh, actually, another part of my low. My father and I actually went to Sorges last night. They didn't have my Delmonico, so I actually tried the strip this time, and it's actually I haven't had the strip in years. I actually kind of forgot how good it is. Maybe I'll have to make that my plan B from now on. Make the Delmonico my plan A. Some no pun intended food for thought later. But anyway, the day I spent with my father, it was very nice. Actually, no kidding. Pretty much the entire time I was with my folks last night, really it was my dad and I, and we watch a bunch of stuff a lot, but no kidding, the end of Tangled was, because we're watching like Freeform some of the time, the end of Tangled was on, and then we saw Beauty and the Beast. The original 1991 animated one. The good one. The very good one. Seriously, that movie was nominated for Best Picture. It's good. Actually, I'm thinking, aren't the Oscars coming up soon? Yeah. I guess it's perfect timing. But regardless, it was a very nice evening. Wonderful time. And I don't know what else to say other than, all right, my active kindness. What was my? Oh right. My act of kindness was I did some laundry for my folks, and I also emptied their dishwasher for them. So I mean, I don't think they really realized it yet, but they will, and then they'll probably thank me. Maybe I don't know, or maybe they'll forget. I mean, let's be honest. I did with no one really noticing, so it's quite possible they won't. I mean, I'm not really going to be thankful for that. I mean, the fact I did it is good enough for me. So, good morning, happy Sunday, everyone, and I can't believe it. They totally did it. The Cuphead show is actually pretty darn good. I had a blast watching this. For those of you who don't know, I talked about this a little bit when I made that one video about how the Cuphead show could actually be good. Considering that it's out now, and I pretty much binge watched it over the span of the last 2 days, I think I can give some thoughts about it. Well, I already just said it was pretty darn good. You probably just stop the video there and be done with it, but I'm sure you probably want to hear a more elaborate explanation. So, for those of you who don't know, Cuphead was originally a video game that was for the Xbox. And the one thing that stood out about that game right away was it was following the original quote-unquote rubber hose animation style of like the very early works of animation. Like we're talking like turn of the century, turn of the 20th century. So this was a pretty, I mean, that animation is a staple in human history, so you better believe it sticks out here. And it was also notorious for being very hard. I mean, I never really played it, but I've seen it be played. I mean, come on, there's YouTube videos about that game all over the place. And I mean, it bothered me because, like, of all things, of the popularity of this, like, this show wanted a video game. We didn't get stuff like Super Smash Brothers or anything Crash Bandicoot related. I mean, technically, Crash Bandicoot did make a cartoon, but it was completely unaired. My point is, you would think that anything based on a video game really isn't very good, when good adaptations of video games have existed. I mean, either because they completely deviate away from the source material and don't really draw that much attention to it, or they try to embrace what goes on and go from there. Like, when Netflix came out with that Castlevania show, that received a lot of praise. That was a good thing. Another, you could say, example of that is, well, Pokemon. Oh yeah, you really think the games are doing all they can to I mean, seriously, between the games, the anime, the merchandising, Pokemon is like one of the biggest companies in the world. Like, again, I'm pretty sure only like Disney outgrossed it. You know, that's how big it is. But this is Cuphead. Literally a cartoon character with a cup for a head. And he got his own show. And it works. It really, like, it's really more of a, it does follow a little bit of an overarching plot, but it pretty much is like sort of a slice of life sort of cartoon sort of thing. But it's good. It's funny. Like, there's actually some legit funny gags that brought me back to watching stuff like Looney Tunes back in the day. Actually, without the rubber hose animation style, you really wouldn't have Looney Tunes. So, there you go. Not saying that Looney Tunes are rubber hose style animation. I'm just saying, you know, one thing would eventually lead into another. I mean, seriously, animations existed since, like, again, the turn of the 20th century. So, you're going to get some variations here and there. And it was all very, very good. Now, the overarching story, you could say, of this season is, in the very first episode, Cuphead and Mugman, voiced by True Valentino and Frank Taddeo. I forget his last name, I'm sorry. But they go to a carnival, it's really Carn-Evil, and in the games, apparently Cuphead lost his soul to the devil because he rolled the dice. And they sort of do that here, but in the first episode, he plays like a skee ball sort of game called Soul Ball, which if you lose your soul. And the funny thing is, Cuphead was doing really well, but Mugman bumped into him and they lost. And of course the devil showed up like right before that happened, so that's why. So basically the devil made him do it. Who knew? So basically, Cuphead and Mugman trick the devil into destroying the Soul Ball game. All the souls that the devil captured are free. And basically, one of the overarching plots of the season, the devil's trying to get Cuphead's soul. There's actually a really good episode where, apparently, to keep the devil at bay, Mugman had to make an invisible sweater made out of stitched with brotherly love, and that kept the devil at bay. It was really, because seriously, the devil like touched Cuphead and be like, ah! Like touch him ever. There was this one scene where Cuphead clearly has the sweater off. Clearly, no pun intended. And the devil's about to take his soul. Mugman shows up with the sweater, puts it on the devil. So basically, it's as if, like, imagine the Tickle Me belt from that one episode of SpongeBob, only it's electrocuting the devil. That was funny. That was really funny. But, yeah, this was, I was very much looking forward to this show. And, I mean, I'm absolutely glad I gave it a chance. And here's the thing. With the exception of Grey Griffin, who I'll get into in a minute, there is a virtual list of hardly anyone in the business who's been cast in this show. Either they've had like a few roles, or in the case of True Valentino himself, this is like maybe his second or third. He's essentially trying to carry a show which is pretty impressive, I gotta say. But let's get into Grey Griffin, because she was everywhere. She did a lot of miscellaneous characters, including in the season finale, in Charm's Way, where she voiced Miss Chalice. Now, you would think that the whole thing with the devil I mentioned was like, well, it was like an overarching plot of the season. But the season ended with Cuphead and Mugman see Miss Chalice essentially do like singing and tap dancing and everything to get what she wants and whatever. And they ask her, okay, how do you do what we do? We want to do that too. And throughout the course of the episode, Miss Chalice really does seem to grow to like Cuphead and Mugman, to the point where their final test is they try and break into a cookie factory. Finally, the episode started off with Cuphead and Mugman trying to steal cookies from a cookie jar from Elder Kettle. Which, by the way, Elder Kettle is awesome. I like Elder Kettle. I thought he was actually voiced by Mike Pollock for a little bit. Mike Pollock, who's the voice of the definitive voice of Dr. Eggman in the Sonic franchise. But I'm getting sidetracked. So, basically, things go wrong. Cuphead and Mugman are knocked out, and Miss Chalice is like, sorry, I really like you guys, but I can't get caught either. So, she leaves them. The boys are captured in jail to be continued. You know, if you were looking for a way to end the season, technically you probably could have done, here's the thing. I actually really liked how the season ended, because it did a great job of like making me want more. And that's honestly like one of the key things. Like, don't have your audience leave satisfied, because they're not going to want anything. You want to leave them wanting more, and I'm not going to lie, I do want more. And the good news is we're going to be getting more. Yeah, apparently the Cuphead show was announced to have 36 episodes over the course of 3 seasons. So we just did 12, so 12 in one season and 12 more in the other. Cool. I'm looking forward to that, sure. Hopefully it'll be hopefully, because this is a Netflix show, it'll be in the realm of like Kid Cosmic and Centaur World, where we're going to be getting the next season fairly quickly. Not saying like, a month from now, because I think for like Kid Cosmic season 2, we had to wait like at least 6 months for it to come again. Again, Centaur World was also another 6 months. So, yeah, I think we may be getting some information about that sometime in midsummer, probably July, August perhaps. But personally, I'm really excited, because really all I can do now is speculate what's going to happen next. I mean, they literally, again, the season ended with Cuphead and Mugman in jail and said to be continued. How are they going to get out? This is the kind of cartoon where something bad technically does happen at the end, but everything reverses itself back to normal because it follows cartoon logic and everything. But they really did want to try and go for like an overarching story, and they definitely got some of that. In a way, it's kind of reminiscent of Amphibia, where, yeah, there was an overarching plot in the first season, but a lot of it was more the slice of life details, which I thoroughly enjoyed. So, do I recommend this show? Absolutely. I mean, here's the thing. I should probably get into this before I sign off. The Rubber Hose animation era style, whatever, is commonly associated with, the racial and sexist undertones at that time. And here's the thing. I completely stink at looking at stuff like that, or looking for stuff like that. I mean, it's got to be pretty blatantly obvious that it's there for me to see it. For me, I was just looking to be very entertained by the show. And I can tell you that I was thoroughly entertained. So I guess another question to ask is it well on its way to becoming, an S tier franchise in my eyes? And I can definitely tell you that there's some promise. I mean, it's only been one season, and now the episodes are short, like 15 minutes a pop. You could probably bang this season about 3.5 hours. So, yeah, check out this show. It's well on its way to becoming something pretty special, and I can't wait to see what happens next. But again, if we get any news about it, I'm guessing it's going to be about 5-6 months from now. So, as thoroughly entertained as I was, I know that some things take patience, and it'll get here when it gets here. All I can do is be good about that patience. Like, favorite, share, the subscribe button. Find me on social platforms on YouTube. I'm very homie. This video for you guys watching. Your for name. Hopefully a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Remember, you can go on Talk Channel. We're here to let you know. Let's be back. Take care and making choices. And hey, with football season over, there's probably nothing else you could be doing. Check out the Cuphead show. See ya.